Hello everyone, my name is Leslie and I work at Blue Ridge, and I was asked to walk you through how to make masks. Very simple. If you have a sewing machine, if you have material, and the first one I'll show you is how to make it with elastic. You may not have it, and it's very hard to come by right now. So in another video, I'll actually do the straps and show you how to do that. But for this is a simple surgical mask. It doesn't look like it's that big, but when it's complete, it actually covers really well. Now, here is something that you should know is that our Valley Health Systems has asked for 10,000 of these over the next 2 weeks. So if you have the ability, please get to making. So here's what you want to do. You want to have 2 pieces of fabric, preferably the thicker. You want 100% cotton, and you want 2 different styles so that while it can be reversible, if somebody puts it on their face, they'll know which side is up against their face. So you're going to cut 2 pieces of fabric. You're going to put them right sides together, and the size is going to be 9 by 6, 9 inches by 6 inches. So once you have that, it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a perfect cut. You can make up any allowances in the sewing. All right, so now we're going to move over to the sew. You're going to want to use a 14 needle or a universal. It doesn't really matter as long as you have a needle that can go through a bunch of thread. Now to start, you're going to come down a little better than halfway, and you're going to start about 2/3 of the way. You're going to come in about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 on your fabric, so you have a nice strong seam. And then you're just going to sew in a straight line. And then you're going to start with a locking stitch. That simply means you go forward for a second, go backwards, and go back forward. All right, slow down when you get to the corner. Now, I recommend leaving the needle down, but going ahead and lifting the pressure foot, separating your 2 fabrics, taking your elastic. You want 2 pieces of elastic, 1 for each ear. You want a 1/4 to 1/8 inch elastic. A little more than that, the 1/2 inches, it gets a little more uncomfortable. However, if that's what you have, I'm sure that somebody will want to use that. So for this, I have an 1/8 inch. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it in the corner, and you're going to put it diagonally, just like that. Kind of push it back underneath. Take your top fabric back down. You're going to hold it, and this is where you're going to put the pressure foot back down. You're going to go forward. Get your reverse. Go over it. Go back forward again. Go back. And then, leaving your needle down, turn it forward and go straight on down. Same thing in this corner. You're going to stop, reach in there, take the other end of that piece, bring it around to a diagonal. See, I said you didn't have to have a perfect cut. I have a little bit of an extra piece there. Pull it down, put your foot, sew across, stop, go backwards, come across, go backwards, and then you can turn your fabric and come straight on down. This is just a straight on down line. Okay? Same thing here, lift up. Grab your second piece, lift up, place in the corner, put back, return your fabric, foot down, press, back, forward, back. As many times as you're comfortable. You don't have to go crazy. All right? Straight on down. And then what you're going to do is, again, like we did on the other side, find your other piece, bring it around, bring it to the corner, back down, make sure your pressure foot's down, go backwards, turn your fabric forward. Helps if you put the pressure foot down, go forward, backwards, forward, and then come down. Now what you're going to want to do, and the gap is really up to you, is you want to leave a gap in between because you have to turn this inside out. So some people don't need a lot of space. You might not be comfortable with a little bit of space. It's, again, there's no wrong way to do it. I personally like to leave about 2 inches or basically about a 3-inch, 3 fingers. You can go ahead when you're done stitching, do a locking stitch, and that's it. All right, and so that's what it should look like. So when you're done with that, go through and just trim up any loose strings that you may have. It's not really that necessary to do that. However, I like to have a clean sew, so I just take a few seconds in doing that. All right, now you're gonna grab the 2 ends and you're just gonna flip the fabric inside out. Giving it not really a full tug like you would if you're making like a bag or a purse or something heavier, but you wanna give it a good tug to really test your seams. You know, the fact that these masks, this mask that we're making right here could potentially keep somebody from dying from COVID. And you know, I really want to make sure that my seams and everything are right. With each mask that I've made, I think about who's going to be wearing them, and I give this all my love so that it will protect them and, of course, our community at large. All right, and so then it looks like a little purse, and that's what it looks like at this point. And we're going to clean up any strings that we see, but we still have that opening. This is not necessary if you want to make more in less time. Personally, I like to seal it. You just fold the ends down together like that. Fold and pinch shut. You can iron this if you want, if you're a little more, if you like a little more structure. You don't have to. You can also pin it. Frankly, I don't pin unless I absolutely have to. And I'm just going to run a quick back and forth across this edge. This will be the top of the mask. When I get to the end, I simply just turn it around again. We're going to go around the mask anyway, so you don't need to do this step, but I'd like to reinforce the edges. It just makes me feel better. All right. And again, just take a second and clean up the lines, clean up your strings. So now you have the same shape essentially as you had before. You don't have to go ahead and create a seam at the top, but I just showed you my preferences to do that. Now it's to put in the pleats. Frankly, I'm going to be honest with you, I do not enjoy this part whatsoever. It's really not hard. It just is, takes a little bit of practice. Winchester Medical Center Valley Health System has requested 3 pleats. So when we look at this one, we see 1 pleat, 2 pleat, 3 pleat. So that is their preference for the model. So that's what we'll be doing. I normally do not pin this myself, but because I'm showing you, I want to make sure that we do pin it. So you're going to pinch it approximately 1/2 inch. Push it down. I actually think it's easier to do it one side at a time. Masters are able to pinch it all at one time, and when I'm not pinning, I do that. But for pinning, and I would assume some of you will want to pin. And so essentially what you do is you just pinch and grab, and then you just make a little another just reach down and pinch and pull it down into where you have 3 little creases. You want to try to space them out. Does not have to be perfect. They won't be perfect. They're each going to be unique. And so basically that's what it's going to look like. You have 1, 2, 3, and then this will be your bottom edge. I'm going to try to straighten it up a little bit. And then how to pin it is you go in and then you bring it across. You don't want to pin this way because it's going to pull against your fabric. So you want to pin up against here and go down through. Take that over to your sewer. Do not sew your pins. You want to stop and pull them out as you come to them. This is where having a 14 needle comes in handy because that's a lot of fabric for it to go through. Whoa. Go back. Back. And go forward again. And so now you have your pleats. When we're done, we'll take care of those extra little skins. Now for me, again, I think it's easier to do one side at a time, and then that way you already have the structure and you're not trying to manage both sides at the same time. You can see why this is a little more challenging. Some people do it with their literally eyes shut. I cannot do it that way. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, back to the sewing. Same thing as before. You have your lines. When you start, go forward a little bit, go back, come across, go back, come across, go back. And that's it. So this is making the face mask with, and see, this is your end product. You have the 3 little pleats there. Now you can iron it to wear that middle piece, but that's not really that necessary because it does stretch out and it's meant to be stretched out. And there you go. So that's how to do that with the elastics.